All right, podium off, broadcast on. All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Saper.
Here.
Councilmember Toll.
I am here, but it appears that you have a quorum without me. Is this correct?
Yes.
So it may be logging off.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Roberts is absent. Councilmember Clark.
Here.
Councilmember Palumbi. Here. Councilmember Graves.
Here.
Thank you. Next up, going to briefly talk about, what has been going on here this week. On July 19th, 2022, North Kansas City tragically lost a member of our family. North Kansas City police officer Daniel Vasquez was killed while protecting and serving the North Kansas City community. Chief Freeman said it best. We lost one of our shining stars. Many of you have shared photos of your family with Officer Vasquez at community events. These photos speak to the kind of officer Danny was, a public servant excited to be a part of our community. Last night, our community came together and grieved with the Vasquez family in our shared loss. Danny was taken from us way too soon, and I vow to attend every court proceeding in support of the Vasquez family and the North Kansas City Police Department. I would like to thank the multiple agencies that helped us through our darkest days and the dark days to come. I would now like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence in honor of our fallen hero, Officer Daniel Vasquez. Thank you. If you're interested in supporting the Vasquez family, I encourage you to visit the city's website for more information, for more donation information and the links to donate. I ask everyone to continue to keep the Vasquez family, the North Kansas City Police Department, city staff, and our entire North Kansas City community in your hearts. At this time, I would ask Councilmember Saper to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Saper. Thank you. Next item is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed? No. Motion carries. Comments from the public? I got you. Good.
Okay, I'm Liz Bryan. I live at 2417 Erie. I missed the last meeting, and it was regard to the sewer and the increase 20% and 20%. And I'm very much against that. We seem to find money to give to some of the some of the businesses. I'm not including cement backwards. I forgot how to say Tamamic. But anyway, it seems like we always say yes, yes, yes. And I think the citizens here are paying the tax and the business, and we have you here to support us. That's why we voted for you. But I met with several of the seniors, and they're having increases in Northgate Village. And of course, the residents here have it too. And they're on a limited income. I mean, it's been 3% in their Social Security and 6% last year. And I know some of them are having their rent raised, and you name it. And it takes place for our library. It takes for all of our businesses. We have this increase. And if I got 40% increase in my pension, I'd learn to gamble at Harris. But anyway, I just think that we really need to think it over because it affects the businesses, the restaurants, you name it. Everything has to go up when we raise things. And I just think that we really ought to do our homework and really think about it. You know, I'm not really being ugly to you guys, but I'm just asking for you to really, really think about it. That's quite an increase. And then if this surtax, you know, I mentioned surtax to people, and they go, what? If this surtax goes through, you have a loss of income coming in. And it's not a funny thing. It's pretty serious. So I don't mean to be ugly, but I think we just really need to think about it and do our homework. I think 40% is pretty stiff. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Further public comments? Seeing none. Next item, number 6, Ward 3 council member appointment. Oh, I guess that's also made for presentation as well. I didn't have any other writing on this one. I have chosen to appoint Connor Fitzgerald. There we go. Between his application and in-person conversation, it is clear that he is passionate for this community, he cares for this community, and I think would be a quality asset in addition to the North Kansas City City Council. Any questions? Councilmember Graves.
I had a bunch of questions from members of the public about the process that I don't have answers to, and so I promised them that I would ask and kind of just figure out how this process went. So can you you said that you did interview him. Did you interview other candidates?
No, I felt his application and answers to the question and answer was far and away the best of everything I received.
Okay. Did you ask him, because I've had people ask me like his positions on various issues, and I mean, since he didn't run just a few months ago during the election, can we ask him questions before we vote? Is that possible? Just to make it public for the public? Most of the time when somebody runs for office, you know, they go through a campaign and have to answer questions and do interviews and things of that nature. And I've actually haven't met one person that people keep asking me who is Connor Fitzgerald, and I'm like, I've never met him, and they say the same thing. So we're expected to vote on somebody that we don't know who they are, their positions on anything.
Maybe we do this instead of, we didn't really set it up for like a question and answer. I mean, if I don't know if he's prepared, if he would like to speak at all or say anything. I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot now as well. If you did, if you just want to introduce yourself, I guess, up at the podium here real quick. And then, and just quickly, I guess, let's do a brief bio and maybe some of why you're interested in being on council. We'll go that route here.
Okay. I'll say I wasn't expecting this, so I didn't prepare nothing.
Yeah, I'm
for
sorry.
this. But that being said, my name's Connor Fitzgerald. I've lived in North Kansas City for the past 5 years. Really love living down here. Professionally, work-wise, I'm a CPA. I do public accounting. I work from home most days. I'm a big fan of North Kansas City. I love living down here. I really like what's going on with all the new development and everything going on. I'm echoing a little bit some of what I put in my application for this, but that being said, I just like the direction North Kansas City is going. I'd like to see that continue to go forward and just be more involved in the community and help out however I can. I thought this might be a good opportunity for that.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have more questions for me, or
I don't think we're getting into a formal question and answer process here. Okay, go ahead. Did you have something additional here to add?
I mean, I would like to ask him a couple things if you don't mind, but if not, then, I mean, do you mind if I ask him a question, and if he doesn't want to answer,
how many are we
say he
going to
doesn't
do?
want to answer?
How many are we looking at doing? How many questions you got?
They're real, like, simple.
Yes, no's?
Yeah.
We're going real fast? Okay.
Yeah. I would be done by now, actually.
Fire away. Let's fire away. Go ahead.
We just had an election in April, so why didn't you run?
I wasn't as interested in that time. I maybe didn't feel like I was ready. I participated in North Kansas City Citizens Academy and learned a lot more about how the city operates from that. And with that background and knowledge, thought I might be in a better position to run. not run, I guess, but apply and benefit, contribute to the city?
There's certain major things that voters always ask us about during elections, and so how do you said you're pro-development, so I assume that you're pro-apartments, the apartments that we're building?
I like to see more development in North Kansas City. I know there is a big outcry for more single-family housing down here, and I would like to see that myself too, but there's limited space to build, so I do like new residences and places to live, businesses coming in, however that may be.
Okay, do you have, can we wrap it, I mean, do you have?
The one
some
thing that
issues? Okay.
people, I mean, the biggest issue everyone asks about, all of us candidates, is complete streets. So what's your feelings on complete streets?
I'm generally a fan of that. It's been in motion for several years before now, lots of planning and opportunities to speak on that. I'm not looking to come in and stop something that's in the works.
Okay. I'm not trying to be disruptive. I'm just pointing out the fact that literally no one knows his positions on anything. And I just want to remind everybody that, like, you know, I paid attention before I was on council. Councilmember Clark was nominated by the previous mayor because she ran and the person that won the election, she moved away or something like that.
Is that what Councilmember, is that what the mayor said? I guess I didn't hear
What?
his reasoning. Is that what he said?
No, that's what I'm just pointing out.
I don't
But
know. I don't know if that's what he.
But during that process, like, people already knew, because she had run for office, and, you know, she'd already run, so people
I mean,
kind of knew her
there's-
stances on things.
There's a huge assumption in there.
I feel like
I
saying
don't think the mayor ever
objection,
addressed.
hearsay, objection,
Yeah,
not
there is-
relevant, objection, because like, why do we have to ask him about apartments? They've already been decided on. So for him
Well,
to say how he feels about it,
well,
and to
I'll-
assume how I was appointed gets weird.
I'll address I mean, I don't think we ever really got much of a solid explanation of why Mayor Stilo did what he did at the time. I'm not sure if he opened it up, accepted other applications. I'm not entirely sure what his process was. I don't know. He could have talked to other people.
I
I'm
went
not
in
sure
for a
what his process
45-minute
was.
interview, if anybody wants to clear the air.
Did you? No, that's what I'm curious.
I
I'm
did.
genuinely
Yeah,
curious.
I met with him. Yeah,
Okay.
he called me to come meet with him.
And slightly different to that, I will add, I at least did open it up to accept applications and try to see what that pool looked like as well. To try to make sure that I was getting as, kind of like boards and commissions, just get as many applications in as possible and try to make a initial best decision, really off of the answers on the questions we gave, which included why you're interested in serving, summarizing what relevant experience, and discussing previous board experience, and some additional comments. Yeah, so that's Councilmember Smith.
So I read through the applications. I appreciate the process that we've gone through. I feel like it was an open opportunity for anyone in the ward to throw their name in the hat. The questions that Mr. Fitzgerald and his answers were very well worded. They were thorough, and I appreciated what he had to say. So I would move to approve.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a
Second.
second? Further council member questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed? No. Motion carries. Item 7 is the swearing in of Ward 3 council member, and that is Crystal. Have you ever done a live fire interview in public before? There we go. We're getting lots of first here. It is a night of first. All right, you are now. You know what? Adam doesn't show up. You can sit wherever you want up here, I guess. No, you take Clevin. You will take former Councilmember Clevenger and then former Bailey. See here. All right, now we are on to number consent agenda. Thank you, Crystal. Next up is consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed? No. Motion carries. Item number 14.
Final plat of Lot 1 and Lot 2 of North Kansas City Destination Development, third plat, a replat of Lot 5, North Kansas City Destination Development. Bill number 7690, ordinance number 9487.
All right, so this is the plat site for the grocery store. This is unanimously approved by the Planning Commission with no further recommendations from staff. Are there any questions related to this item? Is there a
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Is there a reading?
An ordinance approving the final plat of Lot 1 and Lot 2 of North Kansas City Destination Development, third plat, a replat of Lot 5, North Kansas City Destination Development, second plat, a subdivision in the city of North Kansas City, Clay County, Missouri.
I move that Bill number 7690 be placed on second and final reading as pass as ordinance number 9487.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Palumbi,
Yes.
and Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Lot 1 and Lot 2 of North Kansas City Destination Development, third plat, a replat of Lot 5, North Kansas City Destination Development, second plat, a subdivision in the city of North Kansas City, Clay County, Missouri. Item 15, final plat of North Kansas City Destination Development, fifth plat, Bill number 7691, ordinance number 9488.
All right,
First
this is,
reading.
this is the plat related to the Genesis site. This is combining 4 separate lots into one lot, and then, again, unanimous approval from Planning Commission with no further comments from staff.
First reading.
Second.
Sorry. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? No. Motion carries.
An ordinance approving the final plat of North Kansas City Destination Development, fifth plat, a replat of lots 1, 2, and 3, North Kansas City Destination Development, second plat, and Lot 2, North Kansas City Destination Development, fourth plat, subdivisions in the city of North Kansas City, Clay County, Missouri.
I move that Bill number 7691 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9488.
Second.
Councilmember Saper? Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Palumbi?
Yes.
Councilmember Graves?
Yes.
An ordinance approving the final plat of North Kansas City Destination Development, fifth plat, a replat of lots 1, 2, and 3, North Kansas City Destination Development, second plat, and Lot 2, North Kansas City Destination Development, fourth plat, subdivisions in the city of North Kansas City, Clay County, Missouri. Item 16, request to terminate a license agreement by and between the city of North Kansas City, Missouri, and Morrill and Janes Bank and Trust Company affecting city property adjacent to 1901 Swift, Bill number 7688, ordinance number 9485.
All right, short story. There was once a night deposit box at 1901 Swift that was in city right away. Then that requires a license agreement. That is no longer there. And to clean up the real estate documents, this is a request to terminate that license agreement. Any questions for staff? Is there a motion?
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? No. Motion carries.
An ordinance terminating a license agreement by and between the city of North Kansas City, Missouri, and Morrill and Janes Bank and Trust Company affecting city property adjacent to 1901 Swift and repealing ordinance number 8538.
I move that Bill number 7688 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9485.
Call the roll,
Second.
please. Oh, there we go. Second, and call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Palumbi?
Yes.
Councilmember Graves?
Yes.
An ordinance terminating a license agreement by and between the city of North Kansas City, Missouri, and Morrill and Janes Bank and Trust Company affecting city property adjacent to 1901 Swift and repealing ordinance number 8538. Item 17, consideration of temporary no parking on 23rd Avenue between Buchanan and Swift Streets. Bill number 7689, ordinance number 9486.
All right, we discussed this at previous meetings. Due to the current construction at the corner of 23rd and Swift, there is very little room to the construction site for two-way traffic, so this takes away that parking officially on a temporary basis. Is there a motion? Any staff questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Is there just a time
There we
frame
go.
for how long this would,
I'm
be
guessing the
closed?
length of the project,
the entire
project, or once they remove the barriers.
They can reevaluate it once they get the underground infrastructure in, but at this time, we're saying until the end of the project.
Thank you. Further questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
First reading?
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries.
An ordinance, A, establishing no parking on 23rd Avenue between Buchanan and Swift Streets. B, providing for the regulation of vehicles thereon. C, directing the Public Works Director to place appropriate no parking signage on 23rd Avenue between Buchanan and Swift in the city of North Kansas City, Missouri. And D, declaring it to be unlawful to park a vehicle in violation of this ordinance and posted signs.
I move that Bill number 7689 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9486.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Palumbi,
Yes.
Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
An ordinance, A, establishing no parking on 23rd Avenue between Buchanan and Swift Streets. B, providing for the regulation of vehicles thereon. C, directing the Public Works Director to place appropriate no parking signage on 23rd Avenue between Buchanan and Swift in the city of North Kansas City, Missouri. And D, declaring it to be unlawful to park a vehicle in violation of this ordinance and posted signs. Item 18, zoning text amendments regarding parking dimensions. Bill number 7692, ordinance number 9489.
Okay. This one I may need a very brief staff explanation. Please, Shu.
Sure. This zoning code amendment is related to the parking lot dimensions and compact car spaces. So currently, our zoning code has laid out parking lot dimensions in two different ways, talking about width, length, depth, and curb width, length, depth. It is really confusing for staff to interpret the dimensions. So the change of the use table in section 17.28 literally is just to clean up the table with keeping in mind that the space for regular cars are 8.5 by 19 feet wide. And this is how typical this area operates, like for Kansas City and Lee Summit, and staff has looked at their zoning code ordinances as well. And then you were giving the different angles for diagonal parkings, parallel parkings, and we just cleared up that table a little bit. And another component is to add in the compact car spaces. Keep in mind it's a 7.5 by 15. That's how big the space is. And we do allow the parking spaces to have up to 20% of the required spaces to be compact car spaces, given the evidence of the need of the compact cars and go through a site plan review process by my department, Community Development Department. So this is what this zoning code amendment is about.
Any
And-
further?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And this zoning code has been approved unanimously by Planning Commission.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith.
Yeah, so the Planning Commission asked a lot of questions about this one, but unanimous approval. The one question I was thinking about is the compact car spaces. Do we have anything in our enforcement side that would tow somebody if they park a big truck? Like if I were to park my truck in a compact car space, because that can jam up cars circulating in the lot. Is there anything in the enforcement side?
So typically, compact cars, they will have signage and say about with compact cars only.
Okay.
And if a truck park over there, and theoretically, they will spill over the space.
Right.
And yeah, so I would assume,
It'd be ticketed or towed or something?
yeah, it could be ticket or towed.
Okay. I just see it happen downtown with the compact spaces, especially in the decks, that people will just park a truck because they don't care. So just making sure that if we do have compact spaces, that they're not going to be blocking cars from circulating through lots.
That's a good point.
First reading?
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries.
An ordinance amending section 17.28.040, parking lot design of the code of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri regarding parking dimensions.
I move that Bill number 7692 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9489.
Second.
And I didn't ask last time, so one more time, is there any further council member comments on this? All right, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Palumbi,
Yes.
and Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
An ordinance amending section 17.28.040 parking lot design of the code of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri regarding parking dimensions. Number 19, zoning text amendments regarding short-term conditional use permits. Bill number 7693, ordinance number 9490.
Okay, you can correct me where I'm wrong on this one. Currently, code does not allow off-site storage of construction materials in offices for construction projects, for example, 18th and Swift or 23rd and Swift. And as we potentially have more construction in the future, this would allow these construction companies to find sites and store things and have offices that are off-site the project, which currently we do not allow. And that would occur through a short-term conditional use permit that would go through staff and then come to council for final approval.
Pending an agreement with the lot owner.
Yeah, pending agreement with the lot owner, and staff can place conditions, council can place conditions upon that as well. Questions, Councilmember Graves and then Councilmember Saper.
I could be wrong on this, but isn't this literally taking place like at 18th and Swift? Isn't that owned by the people that bought the bowling alley and they use the bowling alley for staging and for materials?
Ooh,
And
that's outside of that's a community development question.
We're not aware of they're using it for temporary storage and things like that.
I thought that was like common knowledge, but I could be wrong. It's owned by the same people. And they literally, that's where all the equipment is and their
So when we do
materials.
look at off-site locations, we're typically looking at not under common ownership and within certain distance. So for that one particular, I don't know they're using it for storage or for anything like that, so I could not address that particular question. But if they are about to look for a site that's not under common ownership and not within certain distance, yes, they'll go through this short-term conditional use permit for a temporary construction site.
I know they are using it for parking. I wasn't sure what else is going on over there. Is there materials there? No, I don't know. Do we have any other agreement on? Okay, Councilmember Saper, and then we'll see.
We've had a lot of development over the many years, and has there been a problem, or is this a solution looking for a problem?
I will say that this was asked of me by currently the 18th and Swift project as well. As you've seen, the outside perimeters was pushed out in an effort for them to build the whole site at once instead of chop it up in phases and keep having to move around their offices and whatnot. They did come to some sort of lease agreement with the parking lot that's behind that dentist office along 23rd, only to find out that that is not an allowed use. So they have since vacated it and put everything back on site. But it was a real, a real problem. I mean, that was an existing thing. And so this was kind of the solution, a middle ground where there's still a short-term conditional use process where staff has the ability to review and see if this works out or if there should be additional conditions placed, and then council further would have say. But no, there is, and there may be some question over even the 18th and Swift. I don't know exactly what all they're using the other law for off the top of my head. But, I'm sorry, 18th and Swift. 23rd and Swift, that was a real problem for them. And so this, instead of allowing full use, it's just a conditional use.
Right. This is a very common practice in other municipalities, that you go through a temporary use permit to review the construction site to just make sure there's no safety issues and traffic maneuver issues. And so we're establishing it in our code to allow this. And just echo what Mayor just said, typically this comes up as a problem when you have development projects. And I think it's probably a good thing. It's a good indicator that North Kansas City embracing a lot of development recently.
Thank you for other council member comments.
First reading?
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Opposed? No. Motion carries.
An ordinance amending section 17.12.040 specific use standards of the code of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri regarding short-term conditional uses.
I move that Bill number 7693 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9490.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Plumby,
Yes.
Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
An ordinance amending section 17.12.040 specific use standards of the code of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri regarding short-term conditional uses. Number 20, approving accounts due and payable by the city through July 15th, 2022. Bill number 7694, ordinance number 9491.
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through July 15th, 2022.
Greens. I move that bill number 7694 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9491.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Plumby,
Yes.
and Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through July 15th, 2022.
Thank you. The next item, staff comments. Tonight, the only staff comment will come from Chief Freeman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have two staff comments tonight. First one just came to our attention here just within the last hour. The Kansas City Regional Police Academy does a challenge run as a part of each of their academy classes. It's towards the end of each class. Normally it starts somewhere in Kansas City and ends at headquarters where they stop and do push-ups for fallen officers. They have asked and discussed it amongst their class. They would like to conduct that run starting in Kansas City and ending in North Kansas City at 21st and Clay at the site that Officer Vasquez lost his life. This isn't going to be a typical closed route that would require your approval of a conditional use permit. It would be more like a rolling type of a blockade where we would have cars in front, cars in back. It could grow quite large. Normally, it's only the academy class and staff that participate in a run like this, but it is open for all law enforcement officers to participate in it without being able to have time to get this in front of you as a formal action. I would just like to ask for your approval to give permission for the Kansas City Police Academy to conduct this run into North Kansas City.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Secondly, we have a lot of thank yous to give already. We'll have a lot more to give in the future days, weeks, and months. But we've had our opportunity to thank our community who has shown an enormous amount of support for us over the last few days. But, excuse me, I wanted to take the opportunity to, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Thank you for your leadership during this time for not only our city, but for our department. They see it. I promise you our officers see that. Members of the council, many of you have reached out to me personally. I know many of you have reached out to other members of our department. Many of you were present last night at the Candlelight Vigil. Again, thank you. It is seen. It is appreciated. It's a very, very troubling time for our department that we're trying to get through, and we can only do it together. And the support that the leadership in this city has given us has been, I can't put it into words. It's been so appreciative. Staff, same goes for staff. Every member of this management team has stepped up in ways to help us. They put in the same hours that we've been putting in. They've been there to ask, what can we do next? I wouldn't have expected any differently. This is an amazing group of people to work with. I'm proud to be a part of this team, this city, and I'm surprised I've been able to make it through these words already. But first and foremost, just thank you. We appreciate it. Our department appreciates it. Thank you.
Chief, you've said it all. Thank you very much. And the city is here to help in any way we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith.
Yeah, no words at this time. Thanks, Chief, for your leadership. Thank you to the mayor. You've done a phenomenal job, and we've got your back if you need us. Councilwoman Toll also called to say the same. She wanted to pass it along.
Thank you, Councilmember Fitzgerald.
I'm excited to be here and join. That being said, it's been a tragic couple of days. Just want to echo the previous comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Clark.
Condolences and gratitude. Thanks.
Councilmember Palumbi.
Thank you, Chief Freeman. I just want to reiterate that the city is behind all of our emergency response teams, and we thank you guys for the service that you provide to us each and every day. It's been a very dark week for this town, but there has been a light to see the community come together during this time and see how everyone is there for one another. So that is a light that we can shed during this dark time. Thank you.
That's me. Councilmember Graves.
Amen to what Councilmember Palumbi just said. The bright spot in all of this that we've been through this week, I think, is just seeing the community come together. And I'm very appreciative of our police officers. We have a tremendous police department, and I've always felt like this was a very safe community. And I told them last night, and I'll say it publicly, I've been in awe of Chief Freeman this week. He is just a phenomenal leader, just a great man, and we really don't deserve this guy. I mean, he's unbelievable. So that's all for me.
I've had the opportunity to say a lot this week, so I really have nothing else to add. But, you know, I do want to echo what I said, you know, also keep in your thoughts our fire department as well, and our extended family over at the hospital, which all were somehow a part of this. With that, next item, please.
Consideration of a request to hold a recess into an executive session as requested by the city administrator to be held on this date on a real estate matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610.0212.
Move to approve.
Second.
Maybe call roll.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Palumbi,
Yes.
Councilmember Graves.
Yes.
Thank you. With that, the live feed and Channel 2 feed will cut off, and no further public business or votes will be taken. Thank you. Have a good